Can we listen a few words from Mr. DioGuardi?
Following that at Shum. Beautiful. Shum Bukara. Great. I'm going to make my remarks short. Shirley did a very good job. Huh? For Shirley? And I'm going to say the words of Fanoli. Moinan Moski Frika Seke Jemta Edavisa Ne Amerika. And a few words from George Castriati. Trimi mira me shok shum. Wonderful, wonderful. I thank you all for doing such a splendid, marvelous job to keep this event so important for history, because education is the most important thing. How do we pass on our information to the next generation? Albanians like to talk about the past. I want to talk about the future. We have to build strong Albanian nation, Komtar Shqiptar. And it starts with Kosovo, and then North Macedonia, and other places. And this is going to be my contribution for the Albanian people before I pass away, that we have a strong nation, a Komtar. We have too many states in the world. And the US Congress was very active with me to protect the Albanians in Macedonia. And I will remember two Jewish congressmen that came with me to Kosovo and Macedonia. One, Tom Lantos, born in Hungary, and one would be Ben Gilman. Both were the chairman of the US Foreign Relations Committee. So we brought important congressmen to Macedonia. Now it's North Macedonia. But it's important that you know that I decided to be a strong activist for the Albanian people, because my father came from a very poor Kotundi Greci in Naples, and told me, Joe, you're now in Congress. You have to help the Albanian people. They need a strong voice. I have a strong voice, and I gave it to the Albanian people. But the job is not finished. You could see the complexity in European politics and in Balkan politics. So we have to be smart, we have to be active, and we have to be honest, and we have to keep educating the next generation so that we pass this on. And I will do all I can to do that, because this is too much to give up. We have to. I come from strong people. I had an Albanian father and an Italian mother, and they gave me spirit. I got their spirit. I worked with them in their food market in the Bronx when I was only 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, and that gave me the ability to deal with all kinds of people in the Bronx, Jewish, Italian. Now we have a lot more Albanians now than before. And I managed to learn a lot in the retail business. So you can say that I had a special education with my parents. I worked with them from when I was very young, and that gave me the confidence. When you raise your children, you need to make them happy, but you also need to make them confident in themselves. Who are they? You got to tell them they're special. My mother always told me that I was special, and that gave me the sense that I had to do something important with my life, not just make money. I made money. I was the partner in the world's largest accounting firm. And when I left Congress, I did not become a lobbyist for money. I became a lobbyist for the Albanian people and other people who needed my voice, but I did not want money for that. I did it as a volunteer. So this is such a beautiful compensation, you might say, for what I did for the Albanian people. And this is the way others have to be educated, younger people. They have to understand that they have to work for their families, sure. You have to earn something to support your family. But then what you have to do is more. You've got to do something for humanity. And that's why this is important in this university. We have Horace Mann in the United States started the public education system in America. Horace Mann. He died in about 1850s. And before he died, he called his students together. He was loved by his students. And he said, be ashamed if you do not do something for humanity. And that's an important thing, that you get an education, you have to support your family, and you have to do as much as you can, but you have to also, like I did, find out how you can support humanity. Now, when I became a congressman, I said, I'm now going to make my father proud, Krana, before he dies. And he died 2 years later after I was a congressman. And I said, now I have to be a good, strong voice for his people who have no voice in Congress. Nobody in Congress knew the word Kosovo when I was a congressman. Only one. And his name was Lantos, because he was born in Hungary. And I never forget him telling me, Joe, I have gone all over the world, and you have to do me a favor. I know you have big respect from the Albanian people, and I love them too. But I think you will one day be asked to go to Albania. Don't forget, the only thing that the Americans of Albanian extraction did, mainly from Boston, at that time, what they did is they always lobbied to bring some opening to Albania that was communistic, you remember. I was fortunate when Sally Berisha ran, I was picked by the Congress to be the one to monitor the elections. And the first election was 1991, and I said, no, this is not a good election because all the media was controlled by the communists. I said, no. And I told this to my friends in the House of Representatives, and they said, Joe, we now will do another election. So 1992, we had the second election, and Sally Berisha came because I called the first one no good, dishonest. So I had an important role to play, and then I knew I had to do something for Tom Lantos because he was now getting older and whatnot. And I said, I told Tom, if I am ever invited to Albania, I will bring you. And sure enough, in 1990, I was invited to go and meet Ramiz Alia. He was the second dictator. A very charming guy, not like Enver Hoxha. And something historic happened. And this is why in life you need to keep doing things, because sometimes something happens that you didn't create, but it happened. And you have to take advantage of it. And the more you go around meeting people, this is what happens. So I met Ramiz Alia, and he told me a story that I never heard about how many Jews were saved by the Albanian people. And the next day, before I left Albania, he gave me a file from the communist archives, this thick, and it had all the letters. 50 years, Jews were writing the people that saved them, but the communists put the letters in the archives and didn't give it to the Jewish people that were saved. So I went to Israel to give that to Yad Vashem, and started then the knowledge that Albanians were really the most active people in saving the Jewish people. In fact, after the war, the major war, Albania was the only state with more Jews in it than any other state in the European area. So with that, just a little bit history, okay? We've had Shirley did a great job. Thank you, Shirley, for that wonderful review. And thank you for all you did, Volnet, to bring us here and make us so comfortable using the university to receive us. This is an experience that we will never forget. But you know what? I'm not finished. In September, I will be 85 years old, okay? So I have strong Albanian genes, Jak Shqiptar, and Zoti gave me that, and now I have to use it still for the Albanian people. I'm not finished, okay? God bless you. Zoti ju më koft.